Hannah Green was a bright and imaginative 15-year-old girl living in a small town. She loved reading books about adventure and dreaming of faraway places. However, there was one thing that made her feel different from everyone else: a large birthmark on her face. Although she had many talents and interests, Hannah often felt self-conscious about her appearance. The birthmark, which covered a significant portion of her cheek, drew curious glances and made her anxious in social situations. At school, Hannah preferred to blend into the background rather than stand out. She found comfort in art class, where she could express herself without feeling judged. Friends appreciated her kindness and creativity, yet Hannah struggled with feelings of inadequacy when it came to her looks. Many times, she wished she could hide or be someone else entirely. When Hannah learned that Marilyn Monroe would be in town for an event, she felt torn. Marilyn was a dazzling superstar known for her beauty and confidence, traits Hannah admired but often felt were out of reach for her. Despite her excitement about seeing the famous actress, fear bubbled inside her like a stormy sea. What would she wear? How would others see her? As the day approached, Hannah decided to attend but planned to keep herself hidden in the back row. Wearing a scarf to cover part of her face, she hoped to simply enjoy the atmosphere without drawing attention to herself. Little did she know that this choice would lead to a life-changing moment, one that would help her understand what it truly meant to be seen. The excitement in the small town was electric as the day of the Marilyn Monroe event finally arrived. People buzzed with anticipation, and the air was filled with a sense of wonder. The venue, a grand theater, gleamed with bright lights, and a long red carpet welcomed guests as they entered. Fans from near and far came to catch a glimpse of the glamorous star who had captured hearts across America. They dressed in their finest outfits, dresses that swayed gracefully, and sharp suits that shone under the bright lights. As the crowd filled the seats, chatter erupted about Marilyn's legendary beauty and charm. To many, she seemed like a fairy tale princess come to life, embodying grace and confidence. Hannah tried to block out the noise, keeping her head down in her spot at the back row, feeling her nervousness rise as more people arrived. She could hear laughter and shared excitement from those around her, but it felt distant from her own experience. The lights dimmed and a hush fell over the audience. When Marilyn finally appeared on stage, a wave of applause washed over the crowd like thunder. Dressed in an elegant gown that sparkled under the stage lights, she radiated charisma. Her smile brightened the room as she engaged with her fans, making everyone feel special, even from afar. Hannah watched in awe, feeling both inspired and intimidated. As Marilyn spoke about dreams and self-acceptance, Hannah's heart raced with emotion. Little did she know that this dazzling event would be the backdrop for a moment that could change everything for her, revealing an inner strength she had been hiding for so long. As the lights in the theater dimmed, Hannah's heart raced with a mix of excitement and apprehension. This was a chance to see Marilyn Monroe up close, but the thought of being in such a large crowd made her stomach twist in knots. She couldn't shake off the feeling that everyone would be staring at her, focusing on her birthmark instead of the shining star on stage. Thoughts of insecurity clouded her mind, making her wish she could disappear entirely. Despite the thrill of witnessing one of Hollywood's biggest icons, Hannah felt trapped in her own worries. At the back row, she pulled her scarf tighter around her face, hoping it would shield her from prying eyes. The laughter and chatter from other fans felt like a distant hum, while Hannah grew increasingly aware of her solitude in the midst of their joy. She watched friends excitedly share their thoughts and experiences, longing to join but afraid to speak up. The fear of judgment followed her like a shadow, whispering doubts about how others might perceive her. Could they see how different she looked? Would they think less of her because of it? While some fans were immersed in the magic of the moment, Hannah focused on hiding rather than celebrating. Yet, as Marilyn's voice danced through the air, something flickered within her, the flicker of hope. Hannah began to wonder if there might be a day when she wouldn't feel so out of place. Little did she know that this event would soon challenge everything she believed about herself, pushing back against her fears and insecurities. As the lights dimmed further, an electric hum of anticipation filled the theater. Suddenly, the curtains parted, and there she was, Marilyn Monroe, stepping onto the stage in a burst of glamour that captivated everyone in the room. Dressed in a stunning, sequined gown that shimmered under the bright lights, she looked every bit the Hollywood icon fans had come to adore. With her radiant smile and sparkling eyes, Marilyn instantly lit up the space, as if she had brought a piece of magic with her. The crowd erupted into applause and cheers, their excitement reaching a fever pitch. Hannah, sitting hidden in the back row, felt her heart flutter as she gazed at Marilyn. The energy in the theater was palpable. It was as if every person in the room held their breath, captivated by the star's presence. Marilyn waved gracefully to her fans, her charm weaving through the audience like an enchanting spell. With effortless confidence, Marilyn began to speak, her voice smooth and warm. She shared stories about her journey to fame, touching on the dreams and fears that had shaped her life. The crowd hung on every word, laughing and cheering in all the right moments. Hannah could almost feel the warmth radiating from Marilyn's personality, melting away some of her own anxiety. For a brief second, she forgot about her insecurities and became entranced by this inspiring woman. As Marilyn engaged with her fans, blowing kisses and flashing her iconic smile, Hannah couldn't help but wonder if she could ever possess such dazzling charm. Little did she know that soon, Marilyn's attention would turn toward her, bringing an unexpected moment of connection that would forever change how she saw herself. As Marilyn continued to speak, her words flowed like music, weaving a connection with the audience. Her laughter resonated through the theater, but then, in an unexpected moment, she paused and scanned the crowd. It was as if she could sense the energy shifting, her gaze landing on Hannah in the back row. Hannah felt her heart race as their eyes met. In that instant, time seemed to stand still. It was as if Marilyn had looked right through the sea of faces and seen her, shy and unsure. While others around Hannah laughed and cheered, she felt a rush of warmth spreading through her, igniting a spark of hope. Marilyn's expression softened as she took a step closer, instinctively drawn to the girl who seemed to retreat from the world. With each step Marilyn took toward Hannah, the noise of the crowd faded into a gentle whisper. The bright lights cast a halo around the star, making her appear even more magical. Marilyn's presence felt like a warm embrace, and Hannah could hardly breathe as she realized this Hollywood icon was approaching her. Marilyn knelt down to meet Hannah at eye level, gently lifting her chin with one delicate hand. The crowd watched in rapt silence, anticipating what would happen next. As Marilyn studied her face, she smiled brightly and said, "You are the most beautiful girl here." The words floated through the air like sweet music, wrapping around Hannah's heart. In that moment, surrounded by applause and admiration from everyone in the theater, Hannah felt something shift within her, a realization that perhaps she wasn't just hiding after all, she was truly seen for who she was, birthmark and all. As Marilyn gently lifted Hannah's chin, a warmth radiated from her touch that seemed to fill the entire theater. The world around them faded away, leaving just the two of them in that magical moment. Hannah's heart pounded in her chest as she looked into Marilyn's sparkling eyes, searching for sincerity and kindness. It was as if the actress could see right into her soul, understanding her insecurities without a word being spoken. The crowd held its breath, captivated by this unexpected interaction. Marilyn's voice was smooth and soothing as she spoke. "You are the most beautiful girl here." Those words hung in the air like a sweet melody, wrapping around Hannah in an embrace of acceptance. For so long, Hannah had felt invisible and alone because of her birthmark. But now, with those simple yet powerful words, everything changed. In that instant, Hannah felt a rush of emotions, joy mixed with disbelief. She had never considered herself beautiful. That thought always felt reserved for people far removed from her own experience. Yet here was Marilyn Monroe, someone she admired deeply, affirming her worth in front of everyone. The applause erupted around them, echoing through the theater, as the audience rallied behind this moment of connection. Hannah's eyes glistened with tears, not tears of sadness but of relief and newfound confidence. In that single gesture from a star she idolized, she realized she didn't have to hide anymore. It was an awakening. She began to understand that beauty comes in many forms and that self-acceptance is a journey worth taking. For the first time, she felt seen, truly seen, and it filled her with hope for what lay ahead. As Marilyn's words lingered in the air, the atmosphere in the theater shifted dramatically. The audience, caught up in the magic of the moment, erupted into thunderous applause. Hands clapped enthusiastically, and cheers filled the space, echoing off the grand walls. It was a wave of support that swept over Hannah, and she could hardly comprehend what was happening around her. The crowd's reaction was like a warm embrace. It enveloped Hannah, reassuring her that she wasn't alone. Faces lit up with smiles and joy as people stood in solidarity for the shy girl who had just experienced a moment of profound acceptance. The applause felt like a celebration, not just of Marilyn but also of Hannah's beauty and uniqueness, something she had hidden away for far too long. Hannah's heart swelled with emotion as she looked around at the sea of faces that were now cheering for her. It felt surreal. She had never anticipated such support from strangers. In that moment, she understood that they were not just applauding Marilyn. They were embracing her story and recognizing her worth. The warmth from the crowd washed away her insecurities, replacing them with a sense of belonging. With tears of joy streaming down her cheeks, Hannah couldn't help but smile back at the audience. She felt seen and celebrated in a way she had never imagined possible. This outpouring of love gave her a newfound strength to stand tall and accept herself fully. As the applause continued to resonate around her, Hannah realized this was more than just an event. It was a pivotal moment that would change how she viewed herself forever. In the wake of that unforgettable moment, Hannah's emotions swirled like a whirlwind inside her. The applause that echoed through the theater was more than just noise. It was a symphony of acceptance that resonated deep within her soul. For the first time, she felt a profound shift in how she viewed herself and her place in the world. No longer did she see her birthmark as a mark of shame. Instead, it began to symbolize her uniqueness. The warmth from the crowd wrapped around her like a cozy blanket, filling her with newfound confidence. Hannah realized that she had been hiding, not just from others but from herself. The loving words of Marilyn Monroe had pierced through her self-doubt, opening her eyes to the possibility that beauty isn't about fitting into a mold but rather about embracing who you are, flaws and all. As she stood there, tears of joy glistening on her cheeks, Hannah felt lighter than air. The shyness that had once held her captive began to fade away, replaced by a burgeoning strength she had never known existed. She no longer wanted to blend into the background. Instead, she yearned to shine brightly in her own right. In that moment, surrounded by applause and admiration, Hannah recognized the power of kindness and compassion. She saw that people could be supportive and loving, and that connection brought her hope for the future. With each passing second, she began to understand that she was deserving of love just as much as anyone else, and that realization changed everything. From that day forward, Hannah vowed to embrace herself fully, carrying this new sense of belonging with her wherever she went. In the aftermath of that unforgettable moment, Hannah began to reflect on what it truly meant to be seen. For years, she had felt invisible, a shadow drifting through life while others basked in the spotlight. But when Marilyn Monroe looked directly into her eyes and called her the most beautiful girl here, something remarkable shifted within Hannah. She realized that visibility wasn't just about being noticed. It was about being acknowledged for who you are at your core. As the applause subsided and the crowd's energy settled into a warm glow, Hannah took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her insecurities begin to lift. She thought about all those times she had hidden her face and avoided social interactions because she feared judgment. Now, surrounded by supportive strangers who celebrated her existence, she felt a profound sense of acceptance. The walls she had built around herself began to crumble, allowing light to pour in where darkness once resided. It became clear to Hannah that being seen is more than physical visibility. It stems from being recognized as valuable and worthy, regardless of imperfections. That day marked a turning point in her life, a moment where she no longer sought to hide but instead embraced her uniqueness as a part of her story. The warmth from Marilyn's words and the crowd's support encouraged her to step out of the shadows and into the light. As she looked around at smiling faces that had cheered for her, Hannah felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. It was a lesson in love and acceptance that she would carry with her forever, shaping how she interacted with others and ultimately how she perceived herself in this vast world. This newfound understanding of visibility ignited a passion within her, to not only embrace her own worth but also help others feel seen and celebrated for who they truly are. In the days and weeks following the event, Hannah noticed a remarkable shift in how she interacted with the world around her. The newfound confidence she gained from Marilyn's kind words and the crowd's support propelled her to step out of her comfort zone. She no longer felt the need to hide at school or avoid social gatherings. Instead, she began to participate in conversations, laugh with her classmates, and even share her artwork in class, something she had always kept to herself. Hannah found herself smiling more often, and her laughter rang with a newfound joy. The warmth that had enveloped her during that life-changing moment lingered, encouraging her to embrace her birthmark as a part of who she was rather than a flaw. She started to wear her hair back more frequently, and even experimented with different styles, feeling proud of her uniqueness. Her interactions changed significantly. Hannah became more open and approachable. Friends began to notice the change, commenting on how they admired her confidence. This feedback only fueled her desire to continue embracing herself fully. Hannah also made it a point to uplift others who might feel invisible or judged, inspired by Marilyn's gesture. She would compliment classmates when she saw them struggling with self-doubt or offer encouragement to those who seemed shy. As summer approached, Hannah decided to join an art club where she could showcase her creativity without fear. It became a safe space for her and others to express themselves freely. With each brushstroke and shared story, Hannah felt she was not just seen but also heard. This journey towards self-acceptance opened doors for new friendships and experiences, allowing her to forge a path filled with hope and possibility, one where she could shine brightly, just like Marilyn had encouraged her to do. Hannah's story is a powerful reminder of the impact kindness and acceptance can have on an individual's life. That single moment when Marilyn Monroe noticed her in the crowd became a catalyst for change, illustrating how one act of compassion can resonate deeply, altering someone's self-perception forever. In a world where many feel invisible due to insecurities or societal pressures, Hannah's journey emphasizes the importance of embracing our uniqueness and celebrating diversity. The profound transformation she experienced teaches us that visibility is not solely about being seen. It involves being acknowledged and valued for who we are at our core. Hannah learned that true beauty lies in accepting oneself, flaws included, and recognizing that everyone deserves love and affirmation. It also highlights how pivotal moments, no matter how small, can inspire positive changes in others. By sharing her journey, Hannah not only learned to stand confidently in her own skin but also felt empowered to uplift those around her. Her desire to help others who might feel unseen echoes the call for kindness in our communities. Each compliment or supportive word has the power to create ripples of change. Ultimately, Hannah's experience serves as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that we can all play a role in helping someone feel accepted and celebrated. The strength found in vulnerability fosters connections and kindness, creating a world where everyone can thrive together. Each person's story is valuable, and with compassion, we can affirm their worth, just as Marilyn did for Hannah, showing that a single moment truly has the power to change a life for the better.